Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life and a crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. I have two of those. Yeah, that's the one I want. Everybody's doing good. Alex Sheets in the building. What's going on, Alex? Win Mullet. What's up, Win Mullet? How you doing, man? This is not Sub Siege. What's going on? This is nuts. How are you? Alex Sheet. Be safe, man. Are you driving today, man? Are you on the roads, Alex Sheet? Be careful, bro. Microsoft Central Bank firms ignoring climate crisis will go bankrupt. I covered that already. Stephen Jean Baptiste. What's going on, Stephen Jean Baptiste? XRP Freedom, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, so what's going on with the trade talks? That was a little interesting to hear that this morning. I'm going to get rid of the energy consumption article because I covered them already. Drice is in the building. Hey, Siege. Nova. Hey, Nova, what's up? Byron Lewis is in the building. Hey, Siege. What's up, Byron Lewis? XRP Freedom is in the house. How are you? Steve Stevenson. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Steve Stevenson. Danny Law. Hello, sir. Your new follower has returned. Happy to see you in the stream, Danny Law. BCB had a good stream, had a good video on stream today. Who was BCB? Oh man, got to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. Wow, Steve Stevenson. So try to stay warm and safe, my dude. Guys, don't, if you haven't had a chance yet, smash the likes on the way in. We're going to get into a little bit of this talk with the China trade deal. Looks like it's going to be a really interesting phase one. Wild E Coyote is in the building. Evening all from the UK. What's going on, Wild E Coyote? How are you? It's Friday, guys. It's Friday. Absolutely. Oh, Blockchain Backer. He did? He did a live stream, right? I saw something where he did do a live stream. Dubian 2 is in the building. I saw where he did a live stream. I got a notification. Anyway, did a live stream. I was driving home from dropping glasses off to my daughter. Absolutely, yeah. So it's Friday. I'm gonna check it out. What was that about? Anything good? His first live stream. Anything going? You said it was good. Why was it good to you, bro? Good video and stream today. Hear that? 26 people in the stream, 7 likes. Guys, if you haven't already, just smash the likes. Collapse that chat real quick. Go smash the like, and then come back and hang out. How many people saw the video today with Chris Larsen? Like he was in out in the woods somewhere in Ecuador or something. I don't know where he was. How many saw that? That was interesting, right? XRP price targets. Oh, you're talking about XRP price targets. Okay, cool. I'll make sure I'll check that out. Okay, nobody said you hadn't seen it. Okay, we're gonna go over that as well. Hopefully my Bluetooth thing will work. I don't know why it ain't working. BLUETOOTH. It's not letting me turn the Bluetooth. Yeah, I got to update drivers. That's lovely. Lovely. Danny Law, China trade deal phase one has been signed, goes into effect on the 14th. Same day that Bearable Guy 123 has the heart on the calendar. Is that right? How about that, Danny Law? How about that? crypticbloom.com. What's going on? Oh, it's just an interesting talk. I'm gonna try and share it with you. It looks like I'm gonna have to share it via my phone, but that's all good. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. I saw that on Twitter today, and let's see who shared that. Guys, 35 people, 36 people in the stream for only 14 likes. Guys, let's keep up our streak, consecutive stream streak, where we have just as many likes as we do have viewers. So if you're enjoying the content, or if you enjoy hanging out in the chat, please smash the like real quick. Class the chat, smash the like, and then come back and hang out. So here's an interesting little video. Who is this? Stephen Bull from the Deep. That dude is awesome. Let me see if I can't find that. Where is he? He's at DIEP. I know I'm friends with him. There it is, there. Check this out, guys. Check this out, check this out, check this out. Man, the market, I don't know what's going on with the market. Anybody know? I haven't checked it. Black 1130 is in the building. What's going on, Black 1130? How are you? Who else came in that I missed? The Thunder Sound is in the building. Checking in from work, Siege. Yeah, be careful, brother. Appreciate you being here. Without question, Blockchain Main is in the building. Smashing. What's good, Blockchain Main? How you doing, my friend? Daniela Kusakova. Well, welcome to the channel, Daniela Kusakova. Where are you checking in from, Daniela Kusakova? Marco Polo is in the building. Hi, Siege. XRP is at almost 24 cents, says Win. Well, up 3.6%. That. Trying to enjoy the Friday without question. Why not, right? Did that change? Did the view change? Did the view change here? What's going on? I'll give it a second. Make sure that view changes. There it is. There it is. All right, let's check this out, guys. Just an interesting little conversation. It's only 2 minutes, so it won't take that long.
Maybe to a world that's more interoperable.
World that's more interoperable, says Chris Larsen. How about that? How about that? Let's check this out, guys.
Future of cryptocurrencies. Where do you see the future of these digital assets and maybe the role of Bitcoin and Ripple or XRP in that future?
Yes, our view is that these digital assets really become supplemental to the existing family of currencies, right? So every country still needs its own fiat currency for all kinds of reasons. And then we'll get into it. Very complicated, right? And I actually think that the big four, the yen, the euro, the dollar, the RMB, they actually, I think, come stronger in this world that we're going into, partially because of digital assets.
Okay.
These digital assets actually contribute to a world that's more interoperable, where more people around the globe can get access to these big four. And most of global commerce is done in the big four. So I think you have a bifurcation going on. Those big four get stronger. I think some of the smaller currencies, maybe even more of the very small fiat currencies, become less relevant, maybe even disappear. A country could have its own fiat, but still use one of the big four. Lots of
like
examples.
Montenegro, right?
Absolutely. But I think then where the digital assets fit in, like things like XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're kind of in that mid-range. They become, I think, like the Singapore dollar or the Swiss franc, and they become useful in, kind of lubricating the world to make it easier for those big four to get in the hands of people all around the world. So that's useful. And then it might also be things like applications and devices that maybe primarily use one of those digital assets. So that's kind of the view we have. So I think in that world, countries should be less threatened by what's going on and see them as simply supplemental rather than a threat. Too much talk about it being a threat. Our industry has done a bad job in too much bravado and chest pounding. It's just kind of silly.
Chris Larsen, huh? Too much bravado. What about that? That's a very interesting comment. Very, very interesting comment. So there it is. That was Chris Larsen. And again, it seems he's somewhere in some kind of forest somewhere hanging out. Some people, and they're having a digital asset conversation in the middle of Bolivia. I mean, who knows where they are? I think that was pretty interesting. She's Daniela Kutsaba. So I know that's European, probably Russian or Ukrainian of some sort, I would imagine. Sahar Sound is in the building. Hello, brother. How are you from Oman? How about that? I appreciate you hanging out today, Sahara Sound. Staff Sergeant of the Marines is in the building. The green stream. How about that? Is the market green again? That's a pretty cool thing. Repair the World is in the building. Hi, Siege. Brussels is in the building. How about that? Checking in. We got some people from Brussels. Got some people from Oman in the building. Daniela Kusapa, did she say where she was checking in from? Good video. Thank you. Crypto Track is in the house. What's going on, man? Good seeing you, Crypto Track. TJ Jackson's in the building. Now we know we got to get that. We know we have to get the likes up, just as many likes as we do have viewers. TJ Jackson's in the building. We want to keep that streak going, TJ Jackson. Make that dude proud. And also make the channel proud as well. It helps with the algorithm on YouTube, without question, gets the channel out to more people to bring them into the digital asset space so that more of us win, so that more average Joes and average Janes win in this new transfer of wealth. And who knows, we might turn them on to XRP after they do their own homework and do their own due diligence, and they might actually purchase some XRP as well. Those giraffes are praising the Lord. How about that? Let me see who else. I bought Charlie Lee's bags is in the building. I appreciate you being here, brother. Crypto Dread, yo, what's good? Florida's tapping in. How about that? Make sure the Phillips family. What? Oh, I know a Phillips family. Phillips family's in the building. What's up, XRP family? I must say, I sold up some of my ETC today. Yeah, I would imagine that you did okay taking some profit right there. How about that? Appreciate you being here, Phillips family. Took some profit on ETC. I know it was doing its thing. I held ETC for a long time. And I got rid of it a while back and got more XRP. Marco Polo's in the building. I found a spike yesterday that no one mentioned. It even took a screenshot. It was on X Straits for about 15 minutes. What? And it was $8,773 for an XRP. What in the world? Where is that exchange, Marco Polo? Little birdie tells me, and hey, we won't know until we know. So don't take this, don't take this to the bank. But a little birdie told me that it's already at 4 digits. Make sure I didn't miss anyone coming into the stream. A supplement. What about that phrase, supplemental asset? A supplemental asset that is actually going to strengthen the big 4, not the big 5. The big 4, which is the dollar, the yen, the euro, and the renminbi. and it's going to strengthen it because it's going to make it more interoperable. Or how is that going to happen? How are we going to get more interoperability? I wonder. So he believes they're going to, we need to stop talking about, replacing the the fiat currency and acting as a supplement to it. That's an interesting talk from Chris Larsen. That's pretty recent, it feels like. But it says it's going to make the big four stronger, make them even stronger. Hold on. What's up, baby girl?
Hey.
I'm doing my stream now. What's going on?
Oh, well, sorry. I'm waiting for like a dumb.
Yeah.
I will be. Oh my god.
Bye. Yeah, sorry. The teenager wanted to make sure she got something to eat before she has to go out and do her thing for sports. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that he's saying that. Trey Hauser's in the building. Bro, what's good, Trey Hauser? How are you? You know what I mean? Interesting. Danny Loft is like, we're at 4 digits. I just got back. Yeah, so, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see how it goes. We shall see. But I think it's very, very interesting that the Davos is going on. The Donald himself is going to head out right in the middle, right in the midst of the impeachment that we saw some people from, was it people from the House walking this, article down to the Senate. And the Donald's like, okay, I'm good. I'm off the Davos. I'm going to hang out with some of the big wigs. Because originally it was just going to be his staff originally. Now he's headed out. He's headed out. And yeah, he's headed out there. That's interesting to me. So, and of course, you know, our partners in what do I want to say? Our partners in XRP, in the love for XRP. Our partners in the love for XRP, which is the company Ripple, is our partners in the love of XRP, is headed out there as well. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Glad to hear that, Trey Hauser. Glad to hear you're doing excellent, my friend. No. I don't. Well, what he said was the big four, and then he mentioned. I thought he said the big four, and then he mentioned the yen, the euro, the U.S. dollar, and the renminbi. That's what I thought. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. And for me, Staff Sergeant of Marines, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, the reason why I'm reading Strangers in Paradise. Shout out to my dude Sonny Palmer. The reason why, and we got some people from the channel reading Strangers in Paradise, is so that we learn how to deal with this generational wealth, this sudden wealth, and learn how to deal with it. So better, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be doing a lot of that as well, like chilling, not doing nada, not saying anything to anyone except for my fellow, I don't have to say anything to my fellow XRP hodlers. Everyone will know, but just chilling. Interesting. Danny Law says he doesn't buy that Shane Ellis theory. That's interesting. I got to tell you up front, Danny Law, I am a proponent of said theory, but it's cool to disagree, right? Like my mentor used to say to me, CJ, if you and I agree on everything, then one of us is not needed. And I want to be needed, right? And I'm sure you do as well. So what did you say here? Thanks for the $5 super chat, Danny Law. I don't buy that Shane Ellis theory. I think massive news release like SEC, then retail volume rise, easier for market makers to hold stable after. I gotcha. I hear you, bro. I hear you. My only thing with kind of, I do think the traditional market has a shot at going from where we are to $30. I think the traditional market has that shot, just the traditional market. Bitcoin bull run gets up to 79% dominance. Altcoins come in and kind of do their thing thereafter. I believe in that traditional bull run that XRP has a chance to get to $30. What we don't know and what we can't control, and this is without another MoneyGram announcement of a quarter being open, this is without SBI saying they're up and running, things like that. I'm talking just a traditional market. Because I think there's already enough news and enough information that those traditional institutions that are in the marketplace and are setting up appointments now and sitting down with their clients that have $500,000, have $500,000 to $1 million, $500,000 to $3 million, and they're wanting to do something in the digital asset space. I think there's enough information out there now for them to say, you might want to look at 2 to 3%, 2 to 4% of your portfolio to the digital asset space. And these are the ones, right? And certainly XRP will be in there. There's enough information for that due diligent investor to say, well, what kind of information do you have and where can I go to learn more about this digital asset, right? And I think that information is already there. It's already available. So I think that, in addition to the FOMO side of it, can get XRP to $30. What I don't see happening is I don't believe that whoever that is, if it's a market maker or a market taker, if it's a liquidity provider, if it's if it's the people in the White House, I don't know who that they are, but they don't want the number. Here's what I personally believe. They don't want the number of wallets of XRP to be increasing. This is what I know. They don't want the number of wallets to be increasing. And if we go from 3 to 5, or if we go from 24 cents to $3, and then from $3 to $8, that is going to increase the number of XRP wallets. And I just don't personally, Danny, think that they want that to happen. Guys, 79 people on the stream, only 33 likes. Oh, you guys are crushing me, breaking my heart, guys. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the chat that's going on, just X out that chat real quick. Go smash the like button. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, then come back and hang out and chat. We want to keep that consecutive stream going, guys. We've only missed one stream where we have not had just as many likes as we had viewers. You guys have been knocking that out big time. So that's where I am. That's where I am in terms of that, because I think that kind of thing, that traditional bull run price thing, I don't think, not that they can, maybe they can't, and the only way to, since they don't want it, the only way to change that up, the only way to what is it, plug the hole is to have some kind of, look, based upon the ILP and the XRPL and the quality index that the NASDAQ's been tracking, blah, 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 NASDAQ comes out next, XRP is $50 or $75 or $100. That's what I think is going to happen. How it gets there, I don't know, but I don't see it taking a year. I don't see that. Let me say that. I don't see it taking 2 years. I could see the traditional market doing its thing, but I get this sense that they don't want the number of XRP wallets to be going up. And doing an incremental kind of up for this next year I don't think is what they want. But who knows? How can they control it? The only way they can control that is to say, based upon the value of the ILP, the XRPL, based upon what it knows it can do, the asset that lies on top of this ledger, this is the price for it. And that's what I kind of think they're going. Danny Loft, oh man, thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. I appreciate that. Some have said pegged to go, then crowd out 15 per. Well, if pegged to gold with the amount of gold reserves, then XRP supply is only $70 per XRP. Gotcha. Yeah, and yeah, so that's the other part of it as well. Some people say based on gold, not backed but based, not pegged but based, not backed but based. So it's kind of hard to say, right? It really is hard to say. So let me show you some of the things, some of the interesting things. 85 people in the stream, guys. I appreciate you hanging out. If you didn't get a chance to smash the like on the way in, just X out that chat. Smash the like if you're enjoying the content. Then come back and hang out. Make sure I didn't miss anyone coming in. Martin 958 is in the building. Alt Horizon, how about that? I have not looked at that today. That's cool. Julian 2 says my first cash out as at $50. I hear you, my friend. XRP Lane is in the building. Hello, how are you? The Crypto Caveman. How you doing, the Crypto Caveman? Good to see you in the street, bro. Make sure I got everybody coming in. Did I miss anybody coming in? I don't think I did. Cookie Month's in the building. What's going on, Cookie Month? How are you? Mayhem Media. What's up? What's up? That means more people getting XRP is my thing. And I don't think that they want more people holding XRP, Mayhem Media. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think they want that. Well, that's what I mean by the number of wallets increasing. More people getting XRPs, all right? So as soon as someone gets on there who hasn't had a XRP and they go purchase XRP, they now have a wallet. And they don't want more people, in my opinion, holding this digital asset. Because we were never meant to hold it. Never, ever, 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 ever. What? Rob Singh says blockchain backers first cash out is $14. I think. Yeah, I think that's what he said, Rob Singh. I think I watched some other videos of his, and I think he did say $14. He believes it can get as high as $50 during this bull run. Make sure I get everybody coming in. GeoXRP, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you in the stream. Rod Hopper's in the building. What's going on, my friend? State of the Union is February 4th. How about that? Last Rights is in the building. How you doing, Last Rights? I don't think I've seen you in the stream. Appreciate your thoughts and opinions, my friend. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. XRP Rocket Man is in the building. Hello, Siege. What's good, XRP Rocket Man? Limbo Album. Man, I like that name. Doing. Don Edwards is in the building. Hi, Siege. Staff Sergeant. The higher price XRP, the cheaper the transaction. It makes sense to whack this with 500 plus. That is the case. Like that's the facts. The higher the price is, the cheaper the transactions. And we all know ultimately, at least I feel ultimately, that me personally, I feel ultimately the ultimate goal for XRP is liquidity and the fact that it can provide liquidity. And like I've said before, right, the global economic crisis has zero patience and waits on no one. And that is what's before us. That is the matter at hand. Corporate debt, global debt, central bank debt, it's there. And when you hear the IMF and the Fed mention liquidity management tools, when you think about the Volcker rule and how that change has happened, it's going to allow for banks to get access to hedge funds that the hedge funds hold the digital assets. Right? It's going to allow for, I don't want to say leniency, but at least it'll allow for a broader place for them to operate to manage their liquidity. What better product for them to access than this on-demand liquidity tool? And how about us recently finding out that XRapid and ODL are not the same thing? In fact, they are quite different. Different enough in that neither the sender nor the receiver or their brothers, cousins, sisters, uncles, the person taking out the trash, their maid, no one has to touch or hold XRP, and yet the transactions can still happen. That is significant. And that's the changes that they made. They changed the whole ODL around. It's not X Rapid, it's different. And that being made aware of that is significant. A lot of people still don't know, but that is the case. Sender, receiver, the person in between, doesn't matter. They don't have to touch XRP. And I think Susie from Esoteric Trading Solutions, I think that what she was trying to say in reference to the RippleNet, when she was saying there was an internal transaction and there's the external transactions, right? And the external transactions, that entity and bank and FI, a hedge fund, whoever it is that's not on RippleNet, they do not have to hold, buy, purchase, touch, sell, smell XRP. It can be done in the RippleNet itself. We're learning today from awesome people like Mickey B. Fresh and Brad Kimes and Cryptopolis and Jay Hyde. We're learning that, especially from Mickey B. Fresh, that whole the ecosystem has changed. The XRP ecosystem has changed. It is more about the market makers and market takers and less about the exchanges. And that's a cool thing. And now, again, there's a reason why Clayton says to Congress that this thing, we need to embrace what's going on because it's happening with or without us. It's going around us. Like, yeah, they found a way that they can still make this thing happen. this behemoth that is Ripple, and their genius of a software called RippleNet has figured out a way where they can still make this thing happen without regulations in place. And we can either embrace it or it's going to go around us and we're going to miss out. We're going to miss out on it. So the new XRP ecosystem is about really the market makers and the market takers. It's about giving them an opportunity to free up the Nostro and Vostro accounts that they have and still be able to grab themselves back up, if you will, snatch back up this XRP. So it's a very interesting model that they're able to put in place. But in the end, when you get market makers and market takers and liquidity providers that are incentivized, and you're able to paint a bigger picture about what's to happen with XRP and this new financial system and the end goal, right? This is the end goal. They can't guarantee a thing, but they can certainly paint a picture. They can share a vision of what's possible and where they see this is going and how this FI, this bank, this MoneyGram-esque type company, they can share a vision of what's possible if they participate in the RippleNet, if they participate in this XRP ecosystem, and then we'll incentivize you, right? And so whether a market maker or market taker is, the thing I think is most important is they're not in it for this transaction and this bridge currency thing, right? They're in it for the value of what can be built upon and the different derivatives that can happen with XRP. It's about number of transactions for them. Okay, this bridge currency thing, that's a transaction. Then futures things, that's another transaction. And this other thing, this other products that built upon it, those are all transactions that market makers and market takers can participate in. They're interested in that, the number of transactions where they can provide, right? Where they can take a market make and a market take, right? Where they can participate in that and they can kind of determine the fees, right? That's what they're interested in. You know, this is just another mechanism, and obviously, you know, they have been incentivized to participate in it. And it's one of the things that Chris Larsen has said, that the market makers and takers and liquidity providers are playing a significant role. And it does make you think, why did they start with like 2 or 3 exchanges and then all of a sudden they hadn't mentioned an exchange since, right? So it feels as though that switch and that pivot that great companies make, Ripple has done. They've pivoted again. And trust me when I tell you, this is not their first pivot, right? Here's Ripple. Ripple's here, and the moon is here, right? And you know, when you set a rocket ship and you put the gyro on there, right? We all know that that's not a straight shot, right? That the rocket ship and gyro is adjusting. It's pivoting on its way to the moon. It don't have a straight thing. There is no such thing. Not in business. Business is up and down. as well. Well, this thing to the moon is adjusting left and right, up and down to get there. And this is not the first pivot that Ripple has made to satisfy their customer, because they get it. They have a customer, they got a customer in mind, right? They got a customer avatar, and they figured out what their needs are. They figured out how to talk to them and how to speak to them. If they figured it out, and when they need to pivot, they pivot. And ODL, in my opinion, this creation of the ODL was a pivot. It was an adjustment that needed to be made. Whether it was made because the regulators here in the U.S. are dragging their feet, or whether some smart guy at Ripple said, we can do this. Why don't we just do this? Who knows? But they pivoted, and it looks as though it is about the market makers and the market takers and the moves that they can make, legally. They can make these moves legally, and they've been incentivized, whether it be the XRP, whether it be being able to free up Nostro Rosto accounts in these destination areas, whether they call them, I would call them small market areas, okay? But whether it's there or whether it's somewhere else, being able to do both, provide liquidity, free up some Nostro Rosto, and be able to snatch back up your XRP, that's just about a win-win. It's just about a win-win. And here's the thing. You're not going to have people from Congress, and you're not going to have Jay Clayton say, this is here, and we need to embrace it, unless they knew that. Why else would they say it? They would not be saying that at a congressional hearing, unless they figured out, unless they found out, oh, yeah, they've pivoted again. Because Brad Garlinghouse has said it. He said, look, regulation this or regulation that. We have our blinders on. We have our head down. We're looking to satisfy and bring on customers and meet the customer's need. Regulators can do what they figure they got to do. But we're going to continue to grow our business. We've identified the need. We've identified a need that we can go attack, and that is the Nostro Rosto. So that's the 10 or 11 trillion. We identified it, and we're going with our blinders on and our head down, and that's exactly what they've done. And just like all great companies, you got to pivot. You start with the plan. Every great company knows, you got to have a plan. But all great companies know the plan that you originally write out is not going to be the plan that ultimately gets you to your destination, right? You got to plan, you got to do, and then you have to review, right? And that is what exactly is Ripple and the genius in motion that is Ripple, right? So what we got going on here? Someone says got another Shane Ellis. Did we have Shane Ellis in the earlier stream with Kynes? What's going on, Shane Ellis? How are you? There's approximately 32 trillion in Nostro Rosto. Yes, that alone is over $300 XRP increments. About that. How you doing, Shane? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Staff Sergeant Marines. But you're right. DNI, if IRS want people to comply with the law, XRP needs to move before April 15th. Just saying. Here's the thing that I do know. Here's the thing that I suppose. If they know about the XRPL, which is why I believe the SEC is running a validator node. Shane Ellis, love your comment. Thank you, Shane Ellis. I appreciate that, my friend. They're running a node. The SEC is running a node. I heard the Fed was running a node. I don't know. I don't know about that. But the SEC is running a node, right? If they know and they're getting educated on this XRPL, transparent transactions, immutable, scalable. There has not been a single, not a one, not a half of one transaction that has gone through that has not been KYC, AML, and CFT. And if you throw in the whole FSOC thing and the fact that they've mentioned the fact that they could step in and snatch something up if they feel that it will solve some systemic need in the financial marketplace. And they snatch it up and say everything is going to be on this ledger via the ILP, and XRP is going to be the digital asset that makes things move. They'll be able to do taxes from the ledger eventually. And I think they know it. GeoXRP says exactly, Siege. Agree. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, Geo. Okay. When are you gonna call into Kimes' show, Shane Ellis? I'd like to be there, hear that, bro. Jared XRP is in the building. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Siege, XRP fan, what's going on? The stellar lumen logo equals Saturn logo on the Economist cover of 1988. Somebody tell Siege he needs to talk about this. I don't know what that is. I know what the Economist is. I don't know what the stellar lumen's logo is. You saying that's on the cover of the Economist from 1988? The boiling crypto's in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, I grabbed like 2,000 stellar. Laugh a lot. I refuse to get more. How about that? Shane Ellis says, I'm the real Shane Ellis. How about that? Well, good to see you in the stream, my friend. TJ Jackson, they are privy and part of the plan. And so that's, so that's kind of where I am in terms of what Ripple is doing and the fact that I just, from a layman's standpoint, when you look at the executive order 13772 that the Donald himself signed off on, and I believe Mnuchin put together, why would they need to mention the company Ripple in that document? Like, why? And there's a guy on Twitter I've been following. I've been watching some of his tweets. I think it's Bagger Cup at Bagger Cup. I have to check it. Why would they need to do that? Just like with this new China trade deal, and they just happen to matter of fact mention Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and they just happen to just throw in Union Pay in the China-U.S. trade deal. But I got to tell you one thing, Shane Ellis. I am a proponent of the Shane Ellis theory. For me, it makes sense. So why would they do that? Did Donald just need a company and he couldn't think of anyone, so he just, they just came up with Ripple? And the people who debrief and rebrief and re-debrief the president of the United States on that executive order, they were like, oh, okay, cool. Ripple. Right? So you don't think they'd say, well, who is Ripple? And what is a Ripple? And why are they in this thing? And this is an executive order signed by the president of the United States. Are we going to just forget Kushner, Jared Kushner, son-in-law, and his relationship with Ken Kurson, an early investor in Ripple and a purchaser, in his own words, a purchaser of XRP at 0.5%? Are we going to just forget that relationship? Ken Kurson, a mainstay in technology in Silicon Valley, and you're someone is suggesting that Kushner doesn't know and the Donald don't know. So maybe that's what it is. He heard Kushner mention Ripple one day, and he said, "I'm just going to throw them in this new financial system. I'm just going to throw this company in." Doesn't make sense, right? It's just, if you look at it from that kind of standpoint, why in the United States and China trade deal are they mentioning Union Pay? Because the people just needed an example and they just came up with Union Pay? or you think that they're probably a little familiar with what Union Pay is. I know one thing, that's a Ripple partner, right? It has to make you think. Guys, 122 people on the stream. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out today. Only 67 likes, guys. Guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, just X out that chat or smash the like. We want to match as many likes as we have viewers to the stream. We want to continue our streak, TJ Jackson, of just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. Spanish Flies in the building. What's going on, miss? How are you? XRP Freak. What's going on, XRP Freak? I don't think I've seen you in the stream. XRP will be bigger than we can imagine. I appreciate that, XRP Freak, and I appreciate you being here. I believe so. And I'm telling you, the $64 trillion question, in my view, still has not been answered. And that is, why are we allowed to hold XRP? Why are we allowed? GeoXRP said done, smash the likes. I appreciate that, GeoXRP. How is it that possible? The staking tokens will help pensions and savers. Yes, I do. I believe digital assets as a whole is going to help save this financial system from crashing. And it's the good staking tokens that have some other value. For example, like some kind of STO type, like a Tezos. I think it's going to be a great thing to stake. I think the DeFi platforms ultimately are going to be the game changers. I think the Kava Labs of the world are going to be the game changers. I think that Celsius of the world is going to be the game changers, especially for the average Joe and Janes. Once they get it, once the average Joe and Jane gets that there's the fiat dollar and there's the digital asset. One is hyperinflationary and one is deflationary. I think once old money tells mainstream media, yeah, it's okay to talk about that, then mainstream media will start talking about it, and then the masses will begin to learn. You got the fiat dollar in the U.S. that has lost about 95% of its value. You got the hidden tax that is inflation, right? That's why you always feel like how much money you're making. You always feel like you're still behind. You always still feel like you're still living paycheck to paycheck because the dollar has lost its value. And you got this deflationary asset, like for example, that is XRP is only going to be a certain amount of it ever created, and it has all of this value too. They keep increasing the value of XRP. Eventually, slowly but surely, the masses are going to get it. Right now, they don't get it because right now the masses are only listening to mainstream media because that's how the masses have been conditioned to go for their information, is to trust CNBC. But that's going to change. It's going to change. Let me see what else. Like John Edwards is in the building. What does he say? John say the 100 billionaires want to be trillionaires. That's why they are going. It's all about more money. Spanish Fly says, hi, guys. What's going on? Shayna says, think about it. What's a ripple? Yeah, I know. Exactly. Tyson Bailey's in the building. How are you, Tyson? This says, I'm Australian. September, top 4 bank partners with fintech then launched instant transfer app. Being it. Then Swell announced Australia Live. Then PerfMint launched digital gold. Then Australia China trade. How about that? Okay, Tyson. I appreciate that, man. That's some good stuff right there. Deep Mind is in the building. What's going on, Deep Mind? What's up, people? Came on in. Came in to smash the like button. Well, I appreciate that, Deep Mind. I appreciate you being here, my friend. I did check that out, what you sent me today, too, by the way, bro. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. She makes very good, valid arguments, doesn't she? Danny Kephart says more people will recognize Ripple than they will XRP. I, for me, that's a toss-up. You may be right initially. You may be right initially. But I think the overall excitement about digital assets is going to sway that number. Mark Calley's in the building. How are you, Mark Calley? Thanks. You're very informative. Thank you, Mark Calley. I got you. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got it. I got you what you're saying, repair the world. And even if that is there, and that's cool, it really is. I mean, like, ultimately, we don't know. Like, ultimately, we do not know. All I know is the value of XRP. It's undeniable. It's not a question because MoneyGram has actually been using it. Like, they're using it. They're proving to the world, mainly Wall Street, right? Because like we said before, MoneyGram's use of XRP and ODL was, in fact, Wall Street's proof of concept, right? And so when Wall Street found out about MoneyGram using XRP, they started to perk up, eyes open, ears perking up. What are they doing with this digital asset XRP? Learned about what they're doing and how they're using it. Heard the quarter two reports, heard the quarter three reports, just like you and I did, and said, okay, MoneyGram, this money transmitter that is moving value, is using this digital asset, and they're saying this is what they're saying, saving. This is how much money they're doing and using it, $100 million using XRP, right? And they want more quarters faster. They hear Alex, the CEO, Alex Holmes, say, we want more faster. Wall Street gets that. They get that, right? Because they understand MoneyGram's business model. They don't understand blockchain, right? They don't understand, algorithms. They don't understand Hedera hash graph or holochain, and they don't want to understand. They want to know, tell me about a business, a real world business that is using the digital asset, not talking about using it, not thinking about using it, not using their blockchain, and not using their digital asset. That's another thing, right? We got companies using the blockchains and not using their digital asset. Well, that's not the case with XRP. They're actually using XRP. And you got companies like FlashFX and MoneyGram, and I forget the other company's name, telling the world the savings that they're getting in real world business model, the savings that they're getting, how they're able to turn those savings over to their customers and freeing up cash for them to increase and then scale their business model. Wall Street gets that. And let me remind you guys of one of my favorite comments in a chat ever. Make sure I didn't forget anybody coming in. Raymond Scott, what's going on, Raymond Scott? Good to see you in the stream, my friend. Yeah, Shane Ellis is back, huh? How about that? One of my famous comments ever. So a guy came into a stream one day. It was Kimes' stream. Came into Kimes' stream one day. And I'm going to find it and I'm going to read it to you again if I can. Just out of nowhere. Have not heard from that guy since. I took a picture, right? Picture. Has not heard from the dude since then. One of the most profound things. When I heard it, I was like, what? And I hope where is it? One of the most profound, I know it, but I just want to share with you guys. I mean, I know what he said. Like, why can't I find that? One of the most profound things ever. It's not a screenshot, right? I've taken so many pictures. And the guy's name was Joseph Brunetti. He came into the stream, and we haven't seen the dude since. And this is what he said. He said, "Thank you for covering this topic. I can tell you this one fact. Plenty of us on Wall Street." What in the world? Plenty of us on Wall Street have nice bags and are preparing for Christmas 2020. I can tell you this one fact. Plenty of us on Wall Street have nice bags and are preparing for December 2020. Joseph Brunetti came into the stream, and I forget what the stream was about. Came into the stream, made that comment. Have not seen the dude since. And I'm bummed out that I can't find it right now. I think that's an interesting comment. Haven't seen the dude since. I think I heard a super chat. Who was that? Raymond Scott. Thanks for the 589 super chat, my friend. I appreciate you being here. Haven't seen it since. 118 people, 118 people in the stream and 85 likes. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me catch on some of the stuff that's going on in chat. Eli's right. January 21st to the 21st to the 24th is the World Economic Forum. Can't wait. Me either, bro. It's going to be interesting. Again, a little birdie told me, and I don't know, you certainly do not have to believe it. Certainly do not have to believe it. But said that XRP was already at 4 digits. Like, I don't know how they're getting there. But I thought it was interesting. Spanish Fly says, I love to hear it every time you mention it, Crypto Siege, right? That's right, Spanish Fly. I'm telling you. Plenty of, I know this one, this was the dude said, Joseph Brunetti. Hasn't shown up since, probably can't show up anymore. I know this one fact. Plenty of us on Wall Street have nice bags and are gearing up for December 2020. Just think about that. He didn't have to say that. I mean, like, he's not, like, no one knows who he is, and no one's gonna say, oh man, it was nice. Oh, you got him. Oh, he's not gonna get any, he gains nada. He gains nothing from making that comment. Nothing. What does he gain from the comment? He gains nothing. There wasn't a whole bunch of other people saying something after he said that. There was nothing. Danny Law, thanks for the $10 super chat, man. I appreciate you contributing to the channel, my friend. One of two things will happen in 2020. This is Danny Law. Both good for Ripple. Either Ripple has an IPO or Swift buys Ripple at that $10 billion valuation. In my opinion, I think that is treason that 9 big execs have left. I think you're saying that's the reason. In my opinion, I think that is the reason that 9 big execs have left. I am leaning towards the IPO. Like, why would they not IPO? I don't see why Ripple would not IPO eventually. And I would like to see them do an equity swap. Yeah, equity share swap. I would love that. Thanks for the $10 super chat again, Danny. I appreciate that. Jared XRP says, Siege, I had a cousin make a mint off the dot-com wave in the 90s, and he always said that this wave would be bigger than imagined. How about that? How about that? And it is. That's why I say we are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. XRP Freak says, agree, IPO is coming. Spanish Fly says, please hit the thumbs up and sub if you haven't had a chance to do that. Appreciate that, Spanish Fly. I did see that, Eli. Did anyone see the 1 minute video on Christine Lagarde talking about the financial reset? I did hear her say that. Yep. Absolutely. Whoa. Shane Ellis says, I've been incognito since my theory because of NDA, but this is the last time you will be able to purchase sub $1 XRP. I also believe Ripple will buy. Whoa! I also believe Ripple will buy Western Union at some point after the IPO. That's interesting, my friend. Thanks for selling. Thanks for sharing, Shane Ellis. That's interesting. Yeah, the sub $1 thing. Yeah, without question. And we all know, Ripple, 10 billion, listen, right? A 10 billion evaluation done by market makers, professionals who do that evaluation, is greater than 93% of the companies on the NASDAQ. 93%. And Ripple is just a few years old. Jared XRP, Jared XRP says he agrees with you, my friend. If Swift bought all cross-border payments, XRP 100%. Gotcha, my friend. Absolutely. Banks in a lot of ways, right? Ripple, some of them are on Ripple. Same banks on the Swift are on the Ripple net, right? Some of them. That's right, Shane Ells. I agree 100%. MoneyGram was the foot in the door to those corridors. Now the company has valid footing. And I'm going to throw this out for you, Shane Ellis, and this is just me. It's personal. I have never been a fly on the wall. I've never been to Silicon Valley or Brad Garlinghouse office. I've never had a chat with David Schwartz or any of those dudes. But I believe that the MoneyGram move, me personally, I believe that was done. That was the man behind that move was Mr. Yoshitaka Katao. In my opinion, I believe that Mr. Katao was the man behind that move. I did a video on it and I titled it something like, "Shh, Brad, Mr. Katao is speaking." Like, I think I did, "Shh, Brad Garlinghouse, shh, Mr. Katao is speaking." I believe that dude was instrumental in making that move. And that move has turned into a game changer because that's what he does. I just found out today he's got 51% of another company. Right? Mr. Katao is just constantly making these kind of moves. And I think he did, but I have no proof. But that's my personal opinion. I think Mr. Katao was instrumental in making that move. Synetic says, made a small investment in MGI today. Will add if things continue to prosper. I hear you, my friend. I know, Spanish Fly. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm in the 10 to 30% neighborhood myself. Spanish Fly says, I'm trying to decide how many shares to get if they allow the XRP swap for shares. So many things to think about without question. I know. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Capital B says, why would Ripple sell? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Thunder says I'm buying my C-130, baby. C-130 line. Now I'm from the aviation airspace background, so C-130 to me is an aeroplane. What's a C-130 to you, Thunder? Deep. Okay, so what question would that be, Deep Mind? I'll ask it. Did you already ask it? Shane Ellis says. Shane Ellis says you need to think of Swift as IBM and XRP as Google. Both are needed, but Google's tech is second to none. The Tao is a smart businessman, without question. Without question. What's that question? I love your comment, Shane. I appreciate you contributing to the channel, my friend. Now, what do you think? Deep Mind, what was that question? Did you already pose the questions? I don't make sure I didn't miss it. Okay, so what's the question you want me to ask Shane, Deep Mind? Strength Gains is in the building. That's very interesting. How you doing, Strength Gains? No way, Deep Mind. Don't tell me that, dude. Are you serious? Are you serious? Deep Mind, hit me up after the stream, man, if you can, if you got some time, bro. Are you serious? That would be really cool. That would be really cool if you can do that. Because I just thought, for me, I thought it was one of the most profound comments in the stream. Now, but I might have to change that up now that Shane Ellis is in here with what he's doing. But I tell you, to me, that was one of the most profound statements I've ever seen. Because again, for me, Joseph gets nothing out of it. Nothing out of it. So Chris San Andre says that in his opinion, Ripple won't do an IPO as they don't need fundings anymore as they had VCs backing them up. So here's the interesting thing about that, and I appreciate your comment, Chris, is they've already sold shares already, right? They do the private stuff. And the rumor on the street, the word on the street is that it got snatched up like immediately. You know, kind of like the ink wasn't dry type deal. Immediately got snatched up. Like I think it was 200 million snatched up. I think that the people in the tech space, Silicon Valley or whatever, I think they know ultimately that Ripple is going to be the next Google. I think they ultimately know it. I think they have a better understanding, a better inside knowledge of the tech. I think there's no accident that Alpha Point is all of a sudden coming onto the scene as being able to provide this white label service for liquidity as a liquidity provider. I think this in this DCEX that is now an XRP based exchange is starting to stick his head out and say, "Hey, I'm here again." I don't think that's an accident. I think that they're saying that, look, we figured it out. This is our model. This is the model that we're going to be using. It's going to involve heavily market makers and market takers, liquidity, quote unquote, liquidity providers. I really do believe that. Byron Lewis says that is a big plane. I know what a C-130 is from. I was an air traffic controller for well, all my adult life, but I didn't know what he meant. So a C-130, I love planes. I saw some used one for sale. How about that? You want to get a C-130, huh? How about that, my friend? Good for you, man. If you're in a position, why not, bro? Why not? I like talking to the C-130s when I was doing my thing for the United States Navy and eventually for the FAA. Absolutely. Why not, my friend? He can just Google the answer. Oh. Huh. Okay. Is Shane Ellis, are you still here, my friend? If you're still here, let me know, Shane Ellis. And let me know if you're still here, Shane. Someone has a question I want to ask. If you're still here. Gaming crypto XRP. I worked in the C-130 fuel tanks years ago. How about that? How about that? Small world, right? Crypto deliveries in the building. Hey, Siege. What's going on, crypto delivery? E-Man's in the building as well. What's going on, E-Man? I appreciate you guys smashing the likes on the way in. I appreciate that. What? It is said, TJ Jackson says, oh, Shane Ellis is still here. I got a question for you, Shane Ellis. TJ Jackson, it is said that security for the Davos event cost $600 million. What? I'm gonna put this. United States, Danny Loft, you were air traffic controller. How about that? 79 to 85, United States Army. How about that? Small world, bro. Small world. I started as an air traffic controller in 1984 in the United States Navy. After 5 years of serving my awesome country, I became a civilian and from there on did it for the FAA until 2015, as a matter of fact. Man, how about that? Appreciate your service, Danny Law. All right, Shane Ellis, I'm going to read your thing, then I'm going to read you this question, and I'm going to give you an email if you would like to participate. You certainly do not, my friend. And you do not have to, but I will ask it. It's not about fun. Shane, I'm telling you, Shane has come up with some good stuff. It's not about, Shane Ellis says it's not about funding, because someone asked why would Ripple IPO. It's not about funding. It's about being legitimate in the eyes of the global governments. This is bigger than liquidity. Okay, this is bigger than liquidity. Many companies like Earthport will exist just to be a middleman, like PayPal. Absolutely. What? Absolutely. So that's man. I'm telling you, you're getting right up there with them Joseph, right up there with Joseph Brunetti, my friend. All right, Shane. So here's the question. If you'd like to answer. Good night, Wiley. Okay, we'll see you, my friend. We will certainly keep the faith. Let me go find TJ's question. What is the name of his, like in yours, Shane Ellis? You don't, and I'm going to give an email, so you don't have to say this. Please don't answer in the chat. Don't answer in the chat, Shane Ellis. What is the name of your IT consulting company? He can send you answer to you privately. Okay. So here's our email that I use for communicating with the channel. So that says CryptoSiege@protonmail.com. CryptoSiege@protonmail.com. Again, please don't answer that in the chat, Jane Ellis. Please don't answer that in the chat. And you don't have to answer it at all. But if you do want to answer it, that's my email, my friend. And trust me, you will not offend any of us if you choose not to answer that, bro. Not in one bit. But that's my email if you want to answer that. Yeah, I know, right? Danny Law, thanks for your service. I said, exactly. Oh, I appreciate that. How about that, Danny Law? I love it, bro. I love it. Relief control after Reagan fired, guys. That's right. I worked at Purge Control at SeaTac my last months in the Army. I hear you, man. I worked in both the tower and the Tracon, right? So I was an up and down guy, but I thoroughly enjoyed, thoroughly enjoyed working in a trade and working in a radar room, right? I like to be in the dark room and talking to the planes without question. All right, Shane Ellis, I appreciate that, man. Looking forward to talking with you, my friend. Looking forward to talking with you. I mean, you've been dropping some serious nuggets. Make sure I don't miss anybody hopping in. Omar Othman, hey, what's going on, Omar? Appreciate being in the stream, my friend. XRP will be more than 100, but not soon. I hear you. Ronnie is in the building. Ronnie Mayhart, drone operator, Dutch Army from 2002 2008. Well, thank you for your service, Ronnie. Thank you for your service, my friend. Hey guys, Ronnie was in the Dutch Army, 2002 to 2008. Let's give that dude some shout outs right there. XRP lighting the way. Howdy, sir. What's going on, XRP lighting the way? Dano is in the building. I missed you coming in, man. Dreaming of a PC-12. Oh, you like the Pilatus? Okay. Pilatus is a nice plane, Dano. Pilatus is a nice plane. Really is. It performs really, really well. Really, really well. Now we're looking at we like the private jet life, right? So we enjoy that. So we're looking at, you know, maybe the Challenger 350 LXI or you know, the G4 or something like that. You know, something like that. We may, just for learning purposes, you know, mess around with the Honda Jet, just for learning, not fly ourselves, no, but just for learning purposes, learning the ins and outs of private jet ownership. We might start out with the new Honda Jet. It's a nice plane. It's a nice plane. Just again for the learning, right? For the learning, you know, I don't know about, you know, just hopping straight to some big old private jet. I don't know if that's smart. You know what I mean? So in terms of ownership, you know, I would start out with like the Honda Jet. It's not only like 4 or 5 mil. Just learning that whole ownership deal before we would move on to some other stuff. But we definitely like the private jet life, without question. But that Pilatus, I'm telling you, that Pilatus is nice, Dano. Pilatus is nice. Now, you think about purchasing that or flying it yourself, my friend? That's exactly right, Omar. They are learning the technology. And after that, they will push the button without question. It's just a matter of time. And so Deep Mind, Shane Ellis said he's going to reach out to me privately, bro. So I'm looking forward to talking with him. Yeah. So I took some fiat dollars and increased my position on VeChain. That's just me. I'm very, very, very comfortable with my position with XRP. But I got a new goal for VeChain, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I know I don't have to. Like I really know. Like ultimately, I know owning other digital assets is just really about either not wanting to spend any of your XRP or just being able to say that you hold some other digital assets. I think that this thing is closer than what you and I think. And I hope to get to talk to, you know, the guy in the stream here, Shane Ellis. Me personally, I just don't think, and it's just me, I just don't think they want more people buying XRP. Like I'm waiting for someone to say, you know, tell me otherwise, but I just don't think they do. And I've just always, for me, that theory to me always made sense. The slow and steady thing, to me, never made sense because of the crisis that has always been knocking on the door. There isn't another liquidity provider. A financial reset is not, there isn't another liquidity provider. There isn't another liquidity solution. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up here and I'm going to catch some few comments. Make sure I got everyone. You guys are having a great conversation. Very, very awakening, says TJ Jackson. Okay. I only saw a couple of his comments. Tyson Bailey, are you a chef, my friend? I like where you're thinking, Ronnie, from the Dutch previously from the Dutch Army. Yep. And I got some few fiat dollars, just a few hundred that I'm looking at either a combination of Chainlink and Tezos or one, for this, for this week. But I don't know which one. I don't know Chainlink. I don't know Tezos. I'm kind of torn. Oh, Dano, you're hiring a pilot to teach you. Man, good for you, dude. Man, I can't wait. Listen, let me know. Let me know when you get there, man. Let me know when you get that done. I would love to cheer you on, my friend. I would love to cheer you on. I would love to cheer you on in acquiring the acquisition thereof, and in taking lessons, because I work with a lot of in FA I work with a lot of flying clubs, and so I'm used to dealing with the Cessna Skyhawks and the Skylanes, right? And I'm used to dealing with all the the private pilots and the Cirrus, right? And just the 206s and the 208s, the Cessnas, and all of that. So I love talking with those guys. And so yeah, let me know. Keep me up to date on how that's going, my friend. I would love to hear about that. Spanish Fly says, I would like to learn to fly a small plane. How about that, Spanish Fly? And I hope you get a chance to do that. I say, why not? Me personally, I like to be passengers. I don't learn to fly. My good buddy is a pilot. He has a private pilot's license. But you should definitely. I hope you get a chance to do that, Spanish Fly. I really do. All right, guys, listen. I'm gonna wrap this stream up. Man, I appreciate the conversation we've had in the stream. It's been absolutely outstanding. I appreciate everyone that took the time to contribute to the channel. Shout out to Danny Loft. Big time for all the super chats. I hope I didn't miss any super chats. I'm really brutal at that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Shane Ellis. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. I saw that you were in the stream earlier with Kimes. I think I caught the replay of that though. I caught the replay of it, but I appreciate that. Danny Law says, check out the icon as I will own one soon. I can't really see it there, but let me know if that's a plane you're talking about, Danny Loft. And I definitely appreciate you hanging out, man. Thank you, Omar. I appreciate that. Omar says, you are the best, bro. I appreciate that, Omar. Yeah, well, we're going to do our best, Danny Kephart, to change that. In our own small channel way, we're going to do our best to change that ability of being able to retain wealth. That's why we have Wealth Wednesdays. And, unfortunately, I couldn't do Wednesday the other day, but that's why we have Wealth Wednesdays, so that more and more of us can get educated and better educated on how to deal with this wealth. It's a great book to start. We're reading, by the way, Danny, we're reading Strangers in Paradise by, I believe, Jason Grubman. Great book. Spanish Fly recommended another great book to she sent me an email as well. But we're looking to do our small part, right? We realize we can't change the world, but we can do our small part in helping more of us understand what it is to have wealth, hold it, and keep it, right? It's, and in the end, that's what we can do is just be prepared. So I'm excited about, doing Wealth Wednesdays, continue to do that, continue to teach people and teach ourselves how to acquire a team, how to put a team together, how to vet financial wealth advisors, if you will, the fiduciaries and the RIAs of the world, learning more about it and getting ourselves in this wealth consciousness so that we can better hold on to the wealth, because it's not just about getting it. It is also about holding on to it, my friend. Without question, Danny, without question. So, all right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up the stream like I do all my videos and remind you of this. And that is, old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought. The victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.